Hello, virtual English 2 students, and welcome to this week's unit, which I am calling Creative Nonfiction. Yes, this week we're going to dive in and kind of see what this genre called creative nonfiction is all about. So what is creative nonfiction? Just on the outset of it, creative nonfiction is a genre that uses literary or narrative techniques to create vehicles to deliver factual information. So most of the time when we think of nonfiction, we think of just like dry textbook stuff, like very like straight to the information, just vomiting up facts and facts and facts. Well, creative nonfiction still relies on facts and real world information, but they try to use a narrative to try to deliver this information. Now, the most popular a vehicle that people will use for this type, most popular piece that people will create for this type of genre is like a memoir where they're telling a personal life story, which is something you did earlier, but that's not what it is exclusively to. So what we're doing this week, you have 4 assignments total. On Thursday, I will pop back on here and I will explain the second assignment. But right now, I am going to give you 3 assignments that are due on Wednesday. The theory in mind, keep in mind, is that you'll read one of these a day. So you'll read one Monday, today, one Tuesday, tomorrow, and one Wednesday. And you'll do the assignments associated with them. So without further ado, here we go. So what I want you to do, I have 3 pieces that you're going to read. And after you read each of these pieces, you need to answer the following 2 prompts. Each prompt needs to be at least 100 to 200 words in length, so about a paragraph in length for both of these. If you go over, that's fine. You just need the 100, 200 words are just there to kind of have a good ballpark of have I written enough to have a nice, fully developed answer. So the first one is, what is the main idea / theme? What is the main idea / theme expressed by the piece, and what can you point to from the piece that supports this being the main idea / theme? I keep on talking about main idea and theme, but that's because like whenever we read, that's kind of the bigger point that we're trying to go to. Once we're back in school, you'll be able to see my poster. In fact, here, I'll try to do this without butchering everything. There we go. Do you see the poster? Hopefully you did, because I can't see the thing. So hopefully you can see you saw the poster, and my poster read, we read to build meaning. And basically what we mean by that is that we read to try to find understanding. And so a lot of reading is, what's the idea? Whenever you read something, you're trying to attack and you're trying to figure out what the idea is. You're kind of like a mouse that's being dropped into a maze, and you're trying to figure your way out of the maze by figuring out what that idea is. And so that's the central, like, main thing that most take away from reading, is that they need to find the idea. It's like a race to try to find out what the idea that this piece is trying to talk about. And there's a variety of ideas that pieces talk about. They can a variety of things, but what is the idea is the main thing that we're kind of looking for whenever we read. It's part of the reason why I like you to do annotations. I'm not forcing you to do annotations this time, but I would encourage you to do annotations this time. But yeah, that's the first part of the prompt that you need to do, is find that idea. What is the theme? So what is the main idea / theme that the piece is talking about? So what's the big idea the theme the piece is trying to express? And what can you point to from the piece that supports this being the main idea / theme? So what evidence can you point to that supports this being the theme? So here's the idea, here's the theme that this piece is talking about, here's evidence that helps me know that this is the theme. Then after you do that, I want you to write another paragraph in which you connect the main idea / theme to today. So I want you to identify who in today's world would benefit from paying attention to the idea this piece is trying to develop. And it could be you. You could be the person be like, I benefited from interacting with this piece. And then you need to explain why they would benefit, or why you benefited from interacting with this piece. So after you get done reading the piece, which I'll show you the 3 pieces here in a moment. After you get done reading the piece, you need to identify what the main idea / theme is and have evidence that support that. And then you need to connect that idea to today's world and explain why today's world would benefit from interacting with that idea. So here are the 3 pieces that I'm wanting you to interact with. The first, so if I was to order these personally, I'd say that the best piece is going to be the third piece, The Graduation by Maya Angelou. A fun piece to kind of gets you to understand what this genre is about is the first piece, The Snakes Are About by T.H. White. And then, of course, The Knife is just to show you what else people can do with this. So here is the first piece. Out of all three of these pieces, you can type in like the title and the author in PDF and probably get a higher quality if you want, except for The Snakes Are About. So if you want the higher quality one, like the full like 14 megabyte file of The Snakes Are About, just email me and I will send it to you because I try to make them smaller. That way it's easier for you to interact with them via Classroom. But here are The Snakes Are About by T.H. White. It's a very interesting story about a man that lives with snakes in his house. And it's kind of weird and it's kind of out there, but he does a really good job of writing the story. It is a fun story, and it has a sad ending, sadly, but it is an interesting story. So you're going to read this, and then you're going to tell me what the main idea is, have evidence that supports that as being the main idea, and then tell me who would benefit from interacting with this piece and why. That's the first piece, is The Snakes Are About by T.H. White. I would encourage you to take notes as you read, because taking the notes helps you build meaning, helps you with that search to find out what the idea is. So I'm not requiring you to take notes, but I'm telling you, I practice taking notes. Like I do it as a practice myself when I'm interacting with stuff I need to think about. I take notes, and as I read it, so as you read this, just take notes that you think stick out, that you think are important, and that can help you with your prompts that you had to do. So that was The Snakes Are About by T.H. White. Then I also have The Knife by Richard Selzer. This is another piece of nonfiction. It's talking about like a surgery, and the way he personifies the knife is a very interesting way that he portrays this. And then the last one I said is probably the best one is Graduation by Angelou. And it's talking about when Maya Angelou graduated from school, and this was a different time, a different place, and she grew up in Georgia, and she kind of talks about it deals with race, it deals with a variety of issues, but it's an interesting take on her coming to an understanding and a personal story that she has. So I want you to read those three stories, and after each story, you're going to do this. So you're going to have 3 of these prompts in total that you're going to do. You're going to answer 6 questions in total, because this is one question, this is another question. So you're going to have these 6 total. You're going to do the main idea / theme and connecting the main idea / theme for The Snakes Are About. Then you're going to do the same thing for the knife, and then you're going to do the same thing for graduation. These are due Wednesday. So the theory, once again, is that you'll do one of these a day, one Monday, one Tuesday, one Wednesday. You're free to do them in whatever order you want. I would encourage doing Snakes Are About to kind of get an idea of what this genre is about. Then the knife to see the left field elements of this genre. And then I would end it with Graduation by Maya Angelou. Is the longer-ish one, so that's why I would kind of end it with the longer-ish one, unless you just want to rip that Band-Aid off, because reading's dumb, even though it's not. Reading's a very beneficial thing for you. As your English teacher, I cannot stress to you enough the importance of reading. But if you want to rip that Band-Aid off and get done with the longest, it goes Graduation, then Snakes Are About, then the knife. So that's the order from longest to shortest, if you want to go that route as well. If you have any questions, make sure to email me. I'll pop on here Wednesday with a Zoom meeting to answer any questions that you might have. We'll probably do that around noon again, like we did last time. But just read the stories and answer the questions. And then Thursday, you'll have a new assignment that will be due Monday, and I'll talk to you about it then. All right, so until next time, I've been Paul Davidson, your English teacher, and y'all have a great day. Wink.